Hello everyone and welcome to a new speed build. Yay! And this one is going to be built on 13 Acacia Way in San Sequoia. And this is going to be a fabulous growing together base game home. So it's a limited pack build. Yay! Which I do enjoy doing. It's very nice to have access to absolutely everything, but I do like the challenge of working out how to do what I want to do with a limitation on it. So I don't know why, I just like making it harder on myself. I just do. So at the moment I'm just working on how I want this build to look. I didn't use an inspiration for this one, so it did take me a little bit of fussing around just to work out what exactly I wanted to do and how I wanted it to be shaped and all that sort of thing, and how the roofs were going to go. So yeah, here we go. Me building hard, and no Velvet, it does not look good. So that's me going back to the drawing board because I was like, no, that's not looking right. So I did want to have like one of those like a covered entranceway. So that was the idea behind all the columns going in there. I think I do change that around a little bit though, but that's the vibe I wanted to go for. Is a nice little covered entranceway, and just using a little corbel there. Which, you know, I didn't know what that was until I started playing The Sims and actually getting into building. I was like, what is a corbel? And then I discovered it. I don't use them very often because I guess I don't build houses that would have them that often, maybe? I don't know. It's just not something that I use a lot, but I did happen to use them in this particular build. And as you can see, I am still fussing around with this front entrance. It wasn't quite looking the way that I wanted it to look, so I wanted to do like bigger columns around the front and have them sort of enclosing the staircase. So that's what I did. Oh, and there's a little trick there for filling in the under roof bit. I was trying to think of what the word would be for that. Under roof bit. That's the best you're going to get from me. So just using like a little one grid square roof underneath the roof gives you that full column going up underneath the roof. I'm saying the word roof a lot. Oh boy. I think I might need a good dose of a energy drink or something, some caffeine. Alright, so I am starting to get the hang of what I wanted to do with the shape here. So extending it out around the side a little bit, and this is actually going to be quite a big home. It's going to be 2 stories, but it's going to be 6 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms in the end. So it is a good decent size house for a good size family. So yeah, it's definitely aimed to be a family home, so that's definitely the idea behind it. So just working on the fencing there. So I'm using the growing together fencing on the porch and just a base game fence on the outside. I did want to bring in like a bricky stony kind of element to it because I don't use that stuff a whole lot, maybe like as an accent or something, but yeah, I don't use that certainly don't use that fencing very often, and it's actually quite nice fencing, so I don't know why not. So around the side there, I didn't want it to all be like even Steven symmetrical, so around the side there I'm doing a little outcropping, a little side room, that might be the best way to put it, which will be turned into the dining area. And I will extend that a little bit more because it isn't quite big enough for what I wanted, but you get the idea there. And I think I have the clear roof on that, so it's like a, you know, really light and bright and warm kind of dining area, which is nice and cozy. I'm still working on that front area. It just wasn't quite sitting right with me, but I think I've just about got it now. And just working on some angles on the roofing on the sides. how I want that to sit. Yeah, there we go. So we've got a nice clear roof on my little dining area to be. And I am just now working on foundations and what we're going to do there. So I used the Growing Together foundation, I believe, on that one. That definitely looks like it. And I wanted to do something out the back of the house, so it just wasn't all like flat down. So I thought a cool porch on the upstairs would be good. I think there's actually 2 bedrooms on the upstairs area, so you know, it's a couple of Sims, 2-3 Sims maybe, that will be sharing that little porch area at the back, and I think that could be a nice hangout spot. So then we've got the big task of working out what I want to do with colours. So that's always a big thing for me because I'm always indecisive about colours. That is for sure. Because I go through many changes and I try to work out what exactly it is that I wanted to do. All the colours. But I did use a bit of the stone from the Growing Together pack because I really do like that stone, and it looks nice because it carries through on the foundation and also the columns too, so you can get quite a bit of use out of that. And I wanted to go, oh yeah, I went with blue on the top area, and I actually used the shingle look on the top area just to mix it up a little bit. I thought that would be quite cool. And I can't remember what I do downstairs. Oh yes, black, and I used a bit of white on the side in the dining room. I didn't want to do it all black, so I brought in a little bit of a different colour on the side there. I do like the black on the outside of houses. It's just such a modern look, and I do enjoy the modern look. This is the vibe I'm going for with this one is like a modern suburban, so I think that works nicely, having the modern colours. And then in the front yard area, I'm just doing like little seating nooks down a step, so I will come back to finish those a bit later in the build. And then we've got the backyard, because in Growing Together, obviously we have quite a bit, well, not quite a bit, we have a couple of cool kids items that I did want to fit in. So we've got like the toddler slide, we've got a splash pad, we've got the tree house, and those are the 3 main things from Growing Together: splash pad, tree house, and the slide. So I was just working out how that was all going to be spaced and where I wanted all this to go. So and obviously I wanted to have a barbecue area as well, because I've got the barbecue set out there ready to be placed in the place where it will eventually go. And there is the treehouse, which is very big and does take up a lot of room in the yard, but I think if you're doing the Growing Together build, I mean, for me at least, I want to try and get that in there, particularly if it's a family home. I mean, it doesn't always work, there's not always the space for it because it is quite large, but it is such a fun addition for the kids. So yeah, pop it in there. And I am putting down the what was it? Tiles. I couldn't remember the word. My memory is so bad. Anyway, like the outdoor tiling. So just getting that down, so the pathways and the barbecue space there. So I'm just using the Sims 3 camera to rotate those, and I'm just getting some trees into the side there, so it's just not looking like a little weird indentation. And then onto the landscaping. So I think I changed some of this around a little bit later, but most of it will stay as is. And I just went for plain white flowers in the landscaping. I didn't go too colourful on this because it is a modern home. I just sort of felt like it wouldn't be too wild with the landscaping, so I stuck to a pretty contained look for this particular build, and I think it worked quite nicely. Plus there wasn't like a whole heap of garden space by the time I'd done like the pool and the kids stuff, and you know, the barbecue area and bits and pieces. I mean, there's a couple of areas around the front which I think I might forget to do on camera, so I kind of had to do that after I finished the build, because I was like, oh, hang on, I forgot to do these spaces around the front. So, but you'll be able to see what I did in the tour. It's pretty simple, and as I said, it's a modern home, so I did a more modern style garden for it. So it's just a simple contained decorative space. So there we go. And I wanted to put like a little tree in the corner here because I thought that kind of was a fitting area for it, just in the corner. So I used just a little planter and put a tree in it. Easy peasy way to put in a tree, because I have long since learned that trying to put a platform planter into a corner with a fence doesn't work very well, and I end up having to fuss around and redo all the fencing, and it just doesn't work. So putting a tree in a planter, that works a treat in a corner with fencing. So now we're working on the windows. Now I was very conscious of the fact that with these growing together windows, when you go up a level, they actually go up. So you can see them showing through on the porch there. I was like, can I hide this? I was like, no, I can't hide this. So yeah, that frustrates me because I love those windows. I think they're absolutely gorgeous, but yeah, it's really hard to build with them on a bottom level if they do show up onto the second floor. One of those little Sims frustrations. One day I hope they will fix it, but in the meantime I will just work around it. So I went with the blue and white windows on the top level and the black windows on the bottom level, just because that's what suited the house and the colours that I did on the house. And I wanted the windows to match. So just building out the top porch area and working on the stairs. So if you hold down control on the top floor, that makes it a lot easier to place the stairs because it will take the stairs down a level. Voila, just like that. So I'm just having a play around and seeing what I wanted to do with the floor layout, the floor plan. And it is looking a bit weird at the moment, but I do get it. It's just kind of ended up being to fit in the bedrooms that I wanted. It just kind of ended up that their bottom floor ended up kind of divided in half, but I do open it up a little bit, so it will change around, I promise, and it will flow a little bit better than what it's looking like at the moment. I'm just, yeah, as I said, I'm just working out where I want all these things to go. And as you can see, I've just changed the staircase location, which I think helped a lot. So that opens that all up. And I'm going to put like a little bathroom, a sort of a half bath. It's just a toilet and sink going in by the stairs. Since they're blocked off anyway and it's a little space, why not? And that's like the guest bathroom anyway. So the kitchen is going into the corner there. It's not like a huge kitchen, but I think it'll do the trick. And you can see the dining room off to the side there, and I've got a bar, a nice big bar actually. It's quite a social friendly house, perhaps that's the best way to put it. But yeah, it took me a little bit of fussing around just to work out how I wanted to do the kitchen. I was like trying to work out if I could put like some extra counter space in there, or yeah, how that was going to work. These things sometimes are a bit of a puzzle, aren't they? Yeah, so just putting in some more of the windows, and I did like the smaller Basegame 3 pane window. Is that the best way to say that? For the kitchen area and for the areas with smaller amounts of space. And then so I'm putting in some bedrooms around the front there, and so yeah, there we are, opening up that side area a little bit, so there's a bit more of a wide corridor going down there, and a little bit of a corridor coming in from the front entrance as well. So I'm just working out the space for the back. I can't quite remember why I did that at an angle. I think just to, it's because of the wall, that's why. Because of the way the wall turned out. And I was trying to work out how to connect the bathrooms. I wanted to actually get more bathrooms in this build, but it just didn't quite work out that way. I mean, it is what it is. So the two small rooms at the front, by the front door, are actually going to be kids' rooms, and then there is the 2 bathrooms downstairs. So it's going to be a bigger bathroom and just the half bath, and then there will be a larger bathroom upstairs with the 2 bedrooms as well. So I'm doing like the old bookcase at the back of the bed, because I had like the little insert space. I was like, oh well, we'll put the bookcase in there. They are little fiddly spaces, but I mean they are kids' rooms, so I don't think they need to be huge. And then so the upstairs, it'll have 2 double bedrooms plus the big larger bathroom up there, and there's going to be like a little seating space there. And I do notice at some point that I have completely put the door at the top at the top of the staircase where it can't be accessed. So I do shift that, I promise. I noticed. I am so bad with doors on the second level, I tell you. I was building something the other day and yeah. What was it? Oh, it was my 2-bedroom modern home that I was building, and was it that one? Yeah. And I went to do the tour and I was like, hang on a mo, there's no door to the beautiful balcony area I built on the top floor. I'd like to say it's the first time I've done that, but it's not. I do it all the time. I don't know what it is with doors on porches, but I just forget about them. I'm so bad. Anywho, I am doing some stained glass windows in the top area, and I'm just putting in some pretty bedroom lights just to pretty the bedroom up. And I've done a little hanging wardrobe space, and now I'm just sort of working on what I want to do with the curtains. I wish the grown together curtains were nicer. The pom-poms honestly put me off them. Like, I think they are nice curtains in the sense that I quite like the decorations on them, or the textile, the fabric, but yeah, the pom-poms just make them too kiddie. So they're great for kids' rooms, but not so great for the adult rooms, I guess. I don't know, personal preference, so there you go. So I'm just working out a space for like a little study space in this bedroom, and also the colours that I want to use on the furnishings too. So just sliding that across and trying to work out what colours would work best in this room. I think I went with a sort of a greeny vibe, and actually, what colour did I go with? I've been building other things, so I can't quite remember. Oh yeah, no, I had the green on the teal on the wall. That's right, that was really nice. I liked that. And then I'm just working out what I'm going to carry through the rest of the house as far as flooring goes. So I'm just boom, 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 putting that in at the moment. And the bathrooms, I went black and white, just keeping that pretty simple. So I'm currently downstairs in the downstairs bathroom, just putting that together with as much of the growing together stuff as I could. And the Peregrine, is it the Peregrine? That's what it's called, isn't it? The Peregrine shower, which is my favourite Basegame shower. So you'll pretty much always see me putting that in when I can. Sometimes with starter houses, obviously you can't use some more expensive stuff, but yeah, when I can, I do. And then I realised that I put the wrong wallpaper in kid's bedroom. Anyway, I'll get there. So I do set this up as a kid's room, and then I change it a little bit later to a toddler room, because I had like the potties and stuff around the house, and then I realised I didn't have a toddler bed at all, and I was like, that makes no sense. So I've changed it to a toddler bed. So I thought, well, if it's a family home, you're probably going to want a toddler bed anyway. There wasn't a great deal of room to put stuff into these little kids' rooms, but I think we got some toys, we got a dresser, and we got like a little Bluffy / unicorn kind of thing going on for the kids. So I think that's fine. I mean, that'll keep them occupied. And I don't know if those, I doubt those bookshelves are accessible, but they look good behind the beds, so yeah, it's fine. So just working out the colours of the kids' rooms and putting in the immaculate shelf up above the curtain rails, just to hide the curtain rails and make that look a little bit more finished on top. And so I'm just working out what I want to do with the rugs and the colours on the wall, and I don't keep the matching thing. I was just like, it's too matchy, I can't do it. So I did change that. And I went pink and blue in this room. I thought that was quite cute with the pink and the blue popping together, and that way it could be a boys' room or a girls' room or a in-between room or whatever room it wants to be. And posters on the wall on that one. I remember when I first had my kids, like I had like, you know, just to add some colour to the walls, I would add like little posters and stuff of different things that I found. And it wasn't necessarily things that they'd be into, but it was just like, you know, they were babies, they didn't They didn't mind, they just liked the colours. That was the important thing. So that's what I was thinking with the posters in the toddler room, future toddler room, currently a kid's room. And so I was just working out the placement of the beds. I wasn't sure if the double beds would fit nicely there, but I think that they did, so I was happy with that. And then it was a case of working out how to put a TV in here because it wasn't quite even, so that made it a little bit, oh well, it didn't make it tricky, it just like affected my I like things to be even kind of thing. Oh well. Then I decided on a slightly different shade downstairs, so I went with like a little bit more of a pink and green vibe, which I really actually ended up liking. I wasn't too sure how that that seat would fit in that corner, so I decided to go with a mirror in that corner instead of the seat. But I do like that shade of pink that comes with the Growing Together pack. I think that's quite lovely. And using these curtains once again and just topping them off with the immaculate shelving, as you do, just to tidy it up a little bit, make it look pretty. And I'm using a bit of brown in there as well because it matches the furnishings, the wood on the furnishings. So voila, and I went with a lovely green shade I think on the walls. I kind of had to work out, find the shade that I wanted. So it's kind of like a mint green, and then it was a case of finding the matching rug, which I did find. Now I thought that one was just a little bit too bright for the room, so I went for a slightly paler colour on there. I definitely use all the Growing Together rug swatches in this build because I like a nice bright rug just to brighten up the plain floor, because I tend to go for a plainer floor and brighten it with rugs rather than going for a patterned floor. It's just my vibe, it's what I do. So I went for a more red shade in this particular room just to match the bed, and carrying on through with that lovely mid brown colour as well. And there's a little study area, you've got a wardrobe, some seating, and a TV as well. I think that might be too big though, that particular coffee table. Yeah, there we go. See you later, little coffee table. It was just a little bit too wide for the space, so I needed something a little bit more narrow, so that seat in the corner could be accessible. Then I came across the slight problem of like none of the furnishings being the same colour wood. So that is a little bit frustrating, but anyway, it's there or thereabouts. Got there in the end. Alright, so what do we got for the wall colour? I went with a blue. The reason I went with blue is there's pops of blue, if you have a look on the rug, that kind of worked quite nicely with the red, and there's a little bit of, I think there might be a little bit of blue on the bed, maybe. Definitely I went with the rug blue anyway, because I thought that worked nicely. And just putting in our little half bath in behind the stairs, or in front of the stairs as it is. And then I was working on the lounge layout. So this was quite tricky. I then had to work out what colours I wanted to go with as well. So I was initially thinking about going black with the furnishings, but I do change that and decide to go a different direction on that, as you can see. Blum blum blum, all gone. Yeah, so I'm just making like a little nook area for the TV, and then I went with black on the walls because I went with white furnishings, but it's that herringbone, so it's not like super black and super dark, because it's got the white running through it. So I think that looked quite nice, which is why I did it. So just in the moment, just trying to still work out how I'm going to make this all work with how it all sits out, because I kind of like had a big gap in between the juice bar. I guess it is kind of a juice bar, the bar and the kitchen, and the lounge area was sort of just off to the side, and I just was trying to work out how to make that flow a little bit better. So I put a table in there for the kids, because the kids need a little table, and then chair in there as well. So I had a little bit of space in the hall area. I wanted to put something in, but it was a little bit of a struggle finding something that was thin enough that would sit on the side well or nicely. So I actually ended up going with this little end table and the matching mirror from Growing Together, which I thought actually looked really nice. It popped really nicely with gold on the wallpaper. And then I've just got a running down the hallway and some artwork on the walls down the hall. So going back to the living area, I'm just going to work out what I wanted to do there and how to sort of make that more a little proper area as such. So ta-da! It's a half wall going in there. Problem solved. And then I'm going to put some furnishing along that half wall as well, just to fill that space a little bit more. And then I'm just working out what rug I wanted to put into this area, because needed something on the floor there. So a rug goes in there. And then we've got this gourd. I actually really love those big mirrors. They're a bit hard to use from Growing Together, but I think they're absolutely gorgeous. And then we've got the little wall decoration there that goes with the bar. Then, oh yeah, that's right. I was trying to work out what I wanted to do with the dining area, because I wasn't super happy with how that was looking. It just kind of looked too busy, because that wallpaper is quite busy. So it's, yeah, it was a lot on my eyes. I was like, I'm not loving that. It's just a bit too much in that space. I wanted to break that up a bit. So this is me just working out what I wanted to do there and how I was going to break that up. And also I wish there was more like little quarter grid plants that just like, yeah, or they just did some more pot colors for that tall quarter grid plant. That would be great. And I am just putting in some clutter for the kitchen. I didn't put a lot in the kitchen as far as clutter goes, just because it's not a big kitchen and I wanted it to still be usable space. And then we have this little space here and behind the living area. So I wanted to put a stereo in, because it is like a little social area around there with the bar. There's some seating and then you dining and stuff. So I can imagine like dinner parties and stuff in that area. So I thought a stereo made sense, and I did want to put like a bookshelf or something, some sort of shelving there. So I'm just working through what I wanted to do there. So I've got a bookshelf and a lamp. I often don't use those freestanding lamps, so it was nice to actually do that. And I wanted to break up the black and the herringbone on the wall. So I'm just working out what color I wanted to do that wall, and making it work with the living area. So I went with blue. There we go. Pretty. I think that looks very nice, and I'm very happy with that. So we're getting close to the end of the build. I've just got this little living space up here, the bathroom, and another one of the bedrooms. So why I did one bedroom upstairs and then went, anyway, it's just the way I did things. It's just me. So as you can see here, I still haven't fixed the doorway going out to the porch as yet, but I will fix that. And then I'm just working out how to lay out this bedroom, and I went with pops of pink in this one, just going with the bed. And I actually really love the shade of pink that those end tables are in. It's really pretty, just with a metallic pink. I really liked it. As I did with the other bedroom and around the other parts of the top floor, I did put the stained glass window in there as well. I moved the bed over because I thought, well, I could put like if I move the bed over and don't have it centered, I would have a lot more space for a wardrobe. So that's what I did. And once again, that's with the matching metallic pink with the mirror. I mean, that's fantastic. I love how that all sort of matches and coordinates. So pretty. I'm really pleased with how nice some of the building stuff in the Growing Together pack was. That honestly, this was one of the packs that surprised me, because I was never one to play with infants very much, or babies very much in the game, and yeah, I actually play with them quite a lot now, because I really like the milestones and just the interactions and just how cute they are. And the Growing Together pack actually changed my gameplay, funnily enough. So yeah, this pack snuck up on me in terms of how much I liked it and how good it was. Like, it's a really subtle pack in the way that it's changed the gameplay. for myself anyway. But yeah, it's just kind of like a little bit like Seasons in the way that it's just changing the world that you play in a way, yeah, that you just get really accustomed to, and until you play like a base game only something. Like I have my base game only Let's Play, the Good versus Evil, and I disable all the other packs when I do that, when I play that game. So that's when I notice all the differences in these subtle things that some of these packs actually bring to the world in the gameplay. So yeah, so I went with green on the walls because I thought I didn't want to have too much pinky pink in that particular bedroom, so I thought the green was actually a really nice contrast there, and it worked with the other bedroom downstairs, which had green and pink tones going through too. So I'm just working out the layout of the bedroom, I mean the bathroom, and just putting in that small plant on the other side just to fill that space, and working on putting in all the accessories and bits and pieces. I'll put a potty up there as well, just in case. Some toweling, and I use that gorgeous shower bath combo that came with the Growing Together pack. I love it. It's my favourite getting clean device. So as you can see there, I'm just putting in the toddler bed, and and I was able to fit in the toy chest at the end of the bed too. So we're just getting to the end of the build now. I come to the outside to finish off the bits and pieces that I completely forgot to finish off. So I'm doing the little hangout areas for around the front, and I do realise that for some reason I did a different colour fencing around the front and around the sides. So I do change that so it does actually match. I don't know why I did that. I probably didn't notice at the time, and now I'm just working on what I want to do for the tiling and how that's going to sit, so that can all be very accessible. There we go. So that's coming together nice. And another thing I do like is that bamboo planter that you get with Growing Together too. I think that's really pretty. It's really nice for outside. So just making this like a little social area around the front where they can sit out on a nice summer's evening and have a nice cup of tea or something like that. And enjoy the sunset maybe. That could be quite nice. So I was looking at whether or not I wanted to put flowers on those little end tables, but I changed my mind on that and decided to do something else. Candles, that's right. Sorry, I was having a memory pause. I was like, what did I put on there? It was candles, so you can light those and it'll be pretty in the evenings. I was exploring the idea of lighting the paths with stones, but that didn't really suit the vibe. What I'm doing at the moment is I am doing my terrain paint. So I am doing a slightly lighter terrain paint around the edge of the paths, and obviously I'm doing the dirt around the plants and trees and whatnot. And I did it around the tree house as well, because I thought, well, if it's an actual tree, then it should have some shading too. So I did some shading there. I'll have to remember to do that in the future as well, because it's something I haven't actually done when I've used the treehouse in the past. So I will do that moving forward. And I've got a little rubbish bin area, and as I said, I'm just doing around the paths with a lighter texture just to give it a bit of contrast and make it look like there is something actually, I don't know, make it look more real. I don't know. I get that, that's what I'm going for. And adding a bit more to the outside of the front of the house. And oh, the lights. I love those lights. They're so nice. You know, they're just like really simple, but they're pretty, just like the, I don't know. And okay, there's some stuff that I missed. But yeah, I really like those those lights. I think they're gorgeous. So just working on adding in a bit more lighting for the night time around the place. I wish I kind of tested out the lights at night, because I didn't do that, but I imagine it looks pretty. And look, there's some more garden area that I did not do the terrain paint in, so I think I'll go back and do that now. There we go. Paint the area, shift that around a little bit, get rid of that thing. Did a little bit more in this corner because I thought, well, this corner is like quite empty. We need something else there. And then I realized I've already got a toddler slide elsewhere. So what else can we put there? We can make it like a little cute area for the parents to sit in while the kids are playing in the treehouse. And they could sit there and watch the kids and have a yakety yak if they wanted to. So I just did a bit more flowers around there. And look, we're done. So as you can see, I did a little bit more landscaping around the front areas because I did forget to do those during the build. I went to do the tour and I was like, hang on a mo, I forgot an area. But I was so pleased with how this turned out and the contrasting colours that came through. So we've got the stone and we've got the blue shingle and we've got the plain black and a little bit of white on the side as well. And I think that worked really nicely with the grey fencing as well. And I like the outside area. It came together really nicely. It's quite family friendly, which was important for this build. And I think it came together in an attractive and pretty way. So that made me happy. I do really like building with a growing together pack, so I think I took advantage of as much as I could from the pack to really make the place look like it belonged in San Sequoia. So you can sort of see the top of the splash pad there and the kids' monkey bars and the slide, and then there's a little pool sitting out in the sun lounger area. And then around the back of the house we've got the balcony up the top. So I did change a little bit in the balcony. I switched the colour of the seating. I thought the blue was a bit too much with the blue background, so I changed that to a natural wood, and I changed a couple of the plants as well so they weren't all the same. And I don't think I changed too much else around the back. I think that was about it. And as you can see, we are going around to the side and you can see our beautiful dining area and the tree house and the barbecue area, which is behind the fence, and you can't see that. And you can see our lights up there on the wall, and it's going to beautifully light up the house in the evenings. And then through to our gorgeous interior. I do love the wall with the herringbone and the black, and then I sort of change it with the pops of colour in the different ways running through the house, and it's all just so modern and pretty and light and quite lovely. I love sort of the pops of chrome as well that come through with the growing together pack. You know, they have it on the bar stools, on the end table, on the mirror, and then like the little toddler room here, and then the second little kids bedroom, then going upstairs to, oh no, hang on, this is still downstairs, to the first double bedroom, second double bedroom, and then upstairs, oh no, that's on the other side of the double bedroom for the red one. And then upstairs we've got the green double bedroom, and then the black and white bathroom, the larger bathroom, and into the pink and green bedroom upstairs. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the build, and I'll catch you next time. Bye!